Amateurs focus on rewards, whereas professionals focus on risk. Why am I starting with this particular quotation? I'll come back to it shortly. Welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. Today we'll break down Nifty's price action, understand what the market was trying to tell us, and most importantly, prepare a clear trade plan for tomorrow. If you are new here or find this helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment with your views or questions. Let's get started and stay one step ahead of the market. We'll be covering the video in the same two parts, wherein first we'll discuss about what we had planned for today, and then we'll what is what we had done in the markets, and then we'll come down to second part, which would be the trade plan for tomorrow. Now, today again, unfortunately, was a no trading day for me, and having a no trading day does not mean that you had not planned correctly. It simply means that the market did not behave in the same way that you had anticipated it to. And for me, it is there's really no problem in actually not taking a trade for a couple of days at a stretch as well, because this is what trading discipline is all about not rushing into trades when your setup is not being formed, but simply waiting for the trades for to take place so that you can participate in them, right? Uh, I'll cover today's price action briefly and explain, like I tell you guys, try to talk to the market, what exactly is happening, and I'll explain briefly what was my thought of action while in the live market. Market opened with a gap up above the zone above which we are looking to create a long entry. Now, markets immediately gave us a bearish candle. Now, had this candle been a little bit more bullish and then the low would have taken out, we could have captured this entire move. But then market seldom will behave as you expect it to. All you can do is to be prepared for anything and everything. That is what I always say. Do not predict anything, but be prepared for anything. Uh, Post this particular fall at the start of the day, markets came down to our support level. And as you can see, this was a valid support level. Market did bounce a little bit from around here. Now, I'll tell you exactly what I was thinking. Like I had also mentioned yesterday, that around if we find markets around this level, this is where we can look at creating a long position based on a price action confirmation. Now, does this mean that as soon as the market reaches here, we'll create a long position? Absolutely no. Now, this was the first pullback. Do not buy into the first pullbacks. Do not sell into the first pullbacks. That should be a good rule that should stick with you forever. Say, for example, market is coming down around here, even if it is at a support level and you expect the markets to reverse from here, do not buy into the first pullback. Wait for the market to give us a double bottom formation at least, right? So around here till around 11 a.m. when we were very close to creating a new low, if you can see, I'll quickly draw this particular line. So when the RSI was open-ended, as in the candle had not closed, but we were still near this 11 o'clock candle was very near to this low, but RSI was quite on the higher side compared to the previous low which was there, and it kind of looked like an open-ended divergence. Of course, it did not happen and there was no divergence at all, is a different story. But this is I'm trying to explain how was I looking at the market. And with this around here, I was thinking that the markets can form a double bottom here, and in case if that would have been the scenario, I would have created a long entry above this particular high. Now markets had different plan. It came down, broke down below this particular level as well. Now we were planning to create a short entry below this zone with a pullback. Did I participate in this trade? No. We did get a closing below this. We did get a pullback. If entered, the trade could have been a good trade as well. But did I participate? Absolutely no. Like I always tell you guys, before entering into trades, try to look at where the market is coming in from, right? So this is the range that the market had already traveled before breaking down of this particular low. And today it did go down. It moved a significant part even post this particular big move. But that is something which seldom happens. And that is why I started with the quote at the start of the video: amateurs focus on rewards. So people will think, okay, this is the reward that you have missed, even though you had planned for the trade. But what I do is I focus on risk. So for me, the chances of, with my experience, the chances of uh, Nifty actually turning around from here was much higher, uh, and maybe form a base or maybe go sideways. But again, I have no regrets of or no FOMO of missing out on this particular trade because I have a set of rules which I clearly adhere to, and market has been kind to me. So far, I have got good returns out of market after trading intraday based on my setups, and that is the reason I still plan and intend to stick to them. So I hope I am able to explain what was my psychology in the live market while I was there, as well as what was I and how do I plan my trades. Say, for example, around here, I was thinking if market forms a double bottom here, it either take some liquidity and then goes up above this high, will take a long position. But around here, I did not enter into this particular trade because I always say, and whatever I say and speak around here is not just for saying. Those are things that I actually personally follow in my day-to-day trading, right? So that is the reason why had we opened with a gap down, then broken down here, and market has not traveled such a great distance before this around this particular breakdown, we could have taken this trade, right? But that is something that I've clearly explained the reason why I did not participate in this particular trade. Now, the kind of situation that is around here is, say, for example, market again formed a double bottom around here, gave a breakout, also moved up above this swing, immediately reversed. So it does not matter if you are a bull or a bear, you are an option buyer, option writer, you are a positional player, you are an intraday player, the market is equally killing all. And that is why I have been suggesting you guys to be uh, trade less or trade with lower quantities and try to protect the capital, right? So that we can participate in the next big move whenever it comes. So I hope those things have been staying with you and you'll take care of those particular issues. Now, what we again, the expiry special trade that I always keep speaking about. Now, when the markets were around these levels, it going down, going coming up, going down, trying to consolidate around these levels, I was looking at the open interest. As I said, post 2 p.m., there was very heavy call writing at 25,100 for current expiry. And in case if market would have sustained above these levels, we could have got that expiry short covering move that I speak about. But then again, that did not happen. On the lower side as well, there were significant put writings at 25,050 as well as 25,050. But then the moment the markets took to break down below those levels was too late, and definitely again uh, it would not have been a rewarding trade. So the most rewarding trade would have been if markets would have sustained around these levels and would have sustained above 25,100. And when those call writers would have exited, that is the place where the expiry trade that I speak about the in every week's Wednesday video would have played out and we could have got a good trade on the upside. I was keeping an eye on that as well, but then since I could not see any significant exit of people from that 25,100 call option, people who had written those call options, I did not take any trade. So again, as I said in the first half itself, today was a no trading day for me. Now coming back for tomorrow, we'll first be deleting this as well as this. We don't need this anymore. On a daily time frame, so when we had first approached these levels, I had clearly said that we can expect the markets to be a little volatile around this level and can expect the markets to be again in a stuck in a sideways range. Anybody who has been a part of my channel for quite some time, again, this was a sideways range that we had quite a bit spoken about. Uh, then there are multiple regions of sideways price action wherein market is in a sideways range, and once it is in that sideways range, there is a lot of trapping being happening on all fronts, and that is the reason why again this is there. Again, I kind of find head and shoulder pattern everywhere. In case if we are above this on a daily time frame, again we'll be getting it. So again, let's not predict anything. And one more thing, once a pattern is too obvious, say for example, a head and shoulder pattern, a double bottom, a double top, the chances of getting trapped around the breakout or breakdown from those levels is very high because if something is too clear. Like it's like a simple trap, how you lay out trap for catching pests in your house, be it mouses or be it any pest that is in your house. You lay out those traps, you lay out good food that is enticing for them, and once they come to eat that food, they are trapped. Similarly, are those good setups, not good setups, as in price action patterns which are too easily visible. You don't need to put in a lot of efforts to find those, are something which can be a good trap setups and stay away from them. For tomorrow, The plan of action will be very, very, very simple. Now, the low that we have created today is actually a 1 to 3 day low, right? So obviously there is a lot of importance to it. We'll be marking today's low. Below this, we are short. You can also plan for a earlier entry. All depends on where the market opens. In case if the market opens flat or gap up, but is inside this particular range, once it breaks down from here, we can plan a earlier entry on the short side as well, right? So this is yesterday we traded this pole and flag kind of pattern on the for the upside. Now today this is the same thing happening on the downside. So this can be a trade if, like as I said, a lot of it also depends on the opening. We can look for a trade around these levels. Uh, Another trade, which again I explained to you guys around here, I have been speaking about it. All you need is a good trending day and a close near the day's high or day's low. So in case if we get a bearish candle, I'll just change the color to red around here, closing below this low, and then the high of this candle gets taken out. That is the long trade that we can plan, but that has to fulfill certain conditions. Like I said, this trade can be executed only at the start of the day. We need fresh sellers who are closing, giving us a bearish closing below this particular day's low, and then once the high is taken out, this is where we can look for a long entry. And in case if we are looking for a long entry around, if this setup happens, these are the first targets that we should be looking at booking our position, or be careful around these levels because this will be acting as a resistance. Similarly, around these levels, we can look for a sorting opportunity. Above this level, we will be clearly long, right? So let's see what plan does market have it, and I will be keeping an eye on this 25,250 odd levels, because this for me would be a, I'm still seeing a head and shoulder pattern again on a inverted head and shoulder pattern on this particular time frame. But let's see. I'll not be predicting anything. This is simply which is visible to me. And in case if we are back up again, uh, and we go above these levels again, this will be a good place to add to your quantities if you are into a trade around from around here. But again, I expect the markets to be a little more volatile as well. So my sincere and genuine suggestion would be to stay safe and stay protected with lower trades and lower quantities in overall general trading, right? So I hope the plan of action is absolutely simple and absolutely clear. My only goal around here is to simplify trading for all of you. Trading is actually simple, but hard work needs to be done. And there was another saying, one of my friends had shared it with me over WhatsApp. It was like, brokers make money with your activity, and you make money with your inactivity, right? So over trading, I believe, is one of the most common sins that retailers are uh, accused of, and that is something which is true. We end up over trading, and that is the reason why we end up making more money for the brokerage houses than for ourselves. So not trading and knowing not when to trade and is equally important as knowing when to trade. And that is the reason why I come here every day on YouTube and put out these daily analysis videos for you to simplify trading for you, to make you prepared with the trading plan, as well as teach you key price action concepts, which I personally follow. And yeah, so that's it from my side for today. And I will see you guys again tomorrow post the market. Stay safe and trade safe. I will be checking back on you guys tomorrow. So this is your Nifty Guy signing off for today. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Cheers and thanks for tuning in.